Instagram. Don't forget, launching on DAB digital radio across Pembrokeshire on the 7th of November. And you can listen in all the usual places as well, on the app, on your smart speakers, and on the website. Let's get into some of the weekend's rugby in the final part of the show. Gordon, Fraser and Tom, life for Narberth and Crymych has been a bit tricky, hasn't it, at the start of this season? Narberth had a great year last year, and we heard from Liam Gadd again in the first hour of the show. That step up is proving difficult, and they'll want to get that win, that first league win, just to get a bit of confidence going, won't they, Narberth?
Yeah, that's right. 36-30 home to Newbridge. We're disappointed to move out, and I guess that is the issue. When you dilute the championship, they made it into a West and East League, which obviously heightened Narberth's chances of winning the title, and they did that, and fair play to them capitalising on that. But when you get into the Premiership, there's no regionalisation. It's not West and East. It is essentially the best amateur semi-professional clubs in Wales, and the trips get longer and the games get harder. So, I mean, the Prince Premiership should be tough. It should be. And they're finding that out. But you are right, Ben. The longer you go without winning in a league like that, the harder it does become. They want to get over the line. And Crymych have been unlucky. I think they've lost 5 out of 6 now. They were hammered on Saturday by Tenby, but they have come close in a couple of games. And if they turn a couple of those results into win, I think they're actually on 9 points despite just one win, which shows how many bonus points they're getting. So they are getting close. But neither of those sides want the winless run to continue for
the thing is, Gordon, those leagues, as Fraser says, those leagues are competitive, aren't they? There's some good teams, especially in the Premiership, and I think, especially for Narberth, you almost expect they are going to have a period of adjusting to playing at that level.
Yeah, let's put a positive spin on it. They're the best team that we can put out every Saturday in the county, and they've done fantastic to get into the Premiership. But as we're talking about it, staying and playing well at that level is a big jump up for a lot of those boys. Because let's be honest, Narberth now aren't actually having players from Llanelli or wherever. No. They're going local base, which is what we wanted to see in the first instance, to be honest with you. Years ago, when I was playing rugby, there was mooted around that they wanted a club to play as Pembrokeshire in the old first class setup. The nearest that we're coming to it is seeing Narberth now playing in the Premiership with mainly Pembrokeshire players. They are going to take a little while to adjust. They are improving. Results are getting better. They're not getting the wins, but they're certainly games of a bit more competitive. But they're coming up against some real class acts, and it's a learning curve for them this season. And I'm sure Coach Liam Gadd knows that only too well, and Matthew as well. He knows that too well because he's played at a higher level as well. So it's going to take a little bit of adjusting, but they've done well. Crymych, again, it's the same scenario really. They're going into uncharted territory. But they're always been competitive up in Crymych, and they will hopefully get a few wins before Christmas, and that breeds confidence, and confidence does breed W's. So hopefully they'll get there.
Okay, and Fraser, having as a former Whitland player, having had to talk about Narberth winning every week last week, no glint in your eye, is there? That's not a glint in your eye that I can see that they're finding life a bit harder this year. No.
Not live on air, no.
No, okay. Just thought I should check that. One team that isn't finding winning hard is Tenby. They're 100%, aren't they? And they continued that again at the weekend. 22-15 against Buryport, but they'll be delighted. That's a brilliant start to the season for Tenby.
Yeah, 4 from 4, going really well, actually. You sensed last year that they've built well in the last couple of seasons. That came to fruition last year. They went and promoted St Clair's. They went up behind St Clair's, and St Clair's are actually bang up there with them as well. It actually shows it doesn't seem that much between Division 1 and Division 2, actually, because those two sides have gone up, especially now they've again spread the leagues out, diluted them, however you want to call it, and they're in the mix early on. And to beat Buryport at home, Buryport a very tough side from Llanelli, they always have been strong teams, so that's a good result. And Eaton-Evans will be pleased. That's going well. A couple of new additions there too.
Yeah, indeed. We'll have to catch up with him again soon on the show. We heard in the first hour, Fraser, you spoke to Steve Martin, didn't you? Yeah. After Milford Haven had a big win, didn't they? 52-14 against Betis. He was delighted with that, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I feared the worst for them, actually, the way he started the season. They're taking some heavy defeats. They're hammered by Fishguard. They couldn't field a side the week before. That game was rearranged. And
lost at Lawn at home as well.
The signs were concerning. And in fairness, they haven't gone it like this down this road this time around. But me and Gordon both know there's been times of the years where Milford they've all been flying on the way up, and then they've been run to the hills on the way down. And I've seen Milford go up and then essentially collapse before and have to start again. They haven't done that since they won that title in 2018-19. They've fought to stay where they are, and I commend them for that. And just did worry when you saw those early results that the wheels were coming off. But no, fair play to put that win together yesterday on Saturday. Excellent boost for them.
Pembrokeshiresport.co.uk has got loads of details and photos and match reports from the weekend's games. Haverford Gordon, I know you follow closely. Disappointing. They lost, didn't they, to Aberystwyth on 25-13?
Yeah, again, Haverford are another side that are a relatively a young crop of guys coming through, and they're learning as they go along. There was apparently a lot of handling errors on behalf of the Blues backs on Saturday. They need to sort of group together and eliminate those errors, and they will do. Haverford will get better. I know they will. I think they've got to play Aberystwyth again in the Pembrokeshire Cup. I don't know whether that tie is this coming Saturday. The other issue is, well, why didn't they do a double header? No, because Haverford can get twice as much money. I shouldn't say that on here, but good luck to you, lads.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good way to finish the show today, Gord. I think actually, good stuff. But Pembrokeshiresport.co.uk for all the match reports from the weekend's rugby. Actually, do we have a quick roundup of the indoor cricket scores, Fraser, just to finish up?
I'd say the Division 1 season started with Pembroke seconds, 96-5. Llanrhian passed that, 97-3. I actually watched that before rushing down here. In the second game, Hook 109-5, beat Pembroke. They were 70 all out. And Neyland are 114-3 after 11 overs against Pembroke Dock at the moment. So remember, it was 12 overs this year. And
excellent, yes.
Actually using new balls in the league this year, and they are hooping and swinging about everywhere. So I was more than happy up on the balcony watching, to be honest with you.
You might get a Monday night call-up. Is the Fantasy League still going?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll tell you what, fantasy football is very much still going with the Clever Casuals. Guess who's top?
Yourself?
You again?
At the moment, but
this happened last season.
I know this happened. I know this happened last season. And you know what? You know what, Gordon? The same way that Eric Ten Hag would say, "You don't win anything before Christmas, do you?"
He might be gone by Christmas, mate.
A sign of what that fancy Premier League is taking over people's lives. I did some team news preview the other day. My boss told me to change the headline and focus on the players who FPL managers are likely to pick.
Oh my God.
Because they're more likely to read it. The injury news about them. So
exactly. Well, actually, Gord, Ten Hag can stay another week, can't he? After that second half, that was a bit better, wasn't it? Yeah. Listen, we need to go because Danny, Steve, and Dan are standing by. The 2-hour takeover is actually 3 hours long this Monday evening. They're on their way in a few moments, and we'll be back next Monday. Have a look at that Matt Bush interview again from part 1. That's on the Facebook page, and you can catch up as well. We will see you next week. Have a great rest of your evening. Good night.